Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all of my favorite summer makeup products. These are just essentials for me during the summer months, and to be honest, summer is not my favorite season. I actually really do not like summer at all. Maybe it's just because I live in California and it's pretty much summer all year round. It's always really hot, except for like 3 days in winter. So summer is just particularly unbearable. It's just really hot and muggy outside. It's actually getting hotter and hotter and more gross outside each year because of global warming. So I'm kind of just indoors all season long, but I really do like the summer makeup trends, and I love seeing how makeup trends change from season to season. So for me, summer makeup means kind of more bronzy, glowy, almost like natural vibe. Skin for me is a little bit more dewy most of the time and just a bit more natural. And eye looks, I either go very bold with bright colors or very neutral with kind of warm tone shades. This is kind of a quintessential summer makeup look for me. Obviously, I don't go too hard onto the bronzing just because I am very fair and I don't really tan at all. So this is kind of my skin tone all summer long. I don't really get any darker than this, but I'm wearing quite a bit of bronzer, a nice peachy blush. I've got a very bold lip on, a neutral eye. My skin is kind of dewy, and yeah, this is the look I'm wearing. I think it's a very quintessential summer look. So the products I want to share with you guys today are ones I'm going to be using all summer long. These are just some of my favorites in my collection. A lot of these products are things I use all year round though. Honestly, there's not really rules to makeup. You can wear whatever you want. If you want to wear like a bold, deep burgundy red lip in summer, you can do that. Even though it's typically like a fall color, I think you can do whatever you want. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's get right into it. I'm just going to go by category. First off, I'm going to start with eyeshadow palettes. So the first palette I want to mention to you guys is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. This one I actually got last summer. I think it's the 1-year anniversary of me owning this palette and it coming out. I got this while I was in New York last summer. I actually had it shipped to my dorm room there, and this is pretty much all I used for the entire month of July. So I really enjoy these colors for summer. Obviously, you have a lot of really nice, beautiful warm tone neutrals, so you can kind of create whatever look you want. I also love that you get some really pretty pops of color in terms of the blues, the purples, the greens. I think it's just a really gorgeous, well thought out color palette. You get a really nice array of colors in here, and I think it's just one of the best formulas on the market as well. For $38, you're getting 35 shades, and I think it's a lot of product. You're getting a lot of product, but you're getting a lot of high quality product. I just love these eyeshadows. This palette is my favorite in my collection. I reach for this all year round, but for summer, I think it's a really amazing palette. So I really enjoy this one. It's a staple in my collection, and it's definitely a summer favorite. Like I said, I really like leaning into bright, almost like rainbow, vibrant eyeshadow looks during summer. So one of my favorite products for that is the Sugar Pill Pro palette. This one I just used in the tutorial that I just uploaded right before this video. So Sugar Pill singles are probably one of the most amazing colorful eyeshadow formulas I've ever tried. These are so pigmented and they do not swatch well at all, but again, swatches aren't really telling the whole story. I think you really need to apply an eyeshadow product to your eyes to see how it works. These are magical. They blend so easily. They're just so effortless to work with. They can make a very difficult advanced look like the one I just did in the previous video and make it so easy. So I really enjoy these colors. They are very expensive. If you want to buy the entire palette, each single is $10, so the entire palette is $120, which is insane. I'm so glad that I made the investment. I use these very often. In particular, I know that I'm going to be using the shade Butter Cupcake, which is the yellow one here, pretty much all summer long. It's just my favorite yellow shade. I love yellow eyeshadow for summer, and it's just a really gorgeous shade. But in general, the entire palette is amazing. I love the quality of their shadows. So here I have my ColourPop Yes Please palette. I actually did depot this one and put it into a ColourPop single palette just because I didn't like the original packaging. But here are the colors in there, and obviously this one's a very warm tone palette. This is kind of very similar in color scheme to the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, so if you're wanting something with nice yellows and reds and really nice warm toned, almost fiery shades, it's a beautiful palette. So this one is one of my favorites for summer. I love the kind of coral tone shades in here. You have a really beautiful like shimmery orange. I've never seen a single shade like that in my entire collection. I just really love this palette. $16, it's an amazing deal. So this one is a staple for me pretty much all summer long. I have done many looks with this on Instagram, so as always, whenever I mention an eyeshadow palette, I try to flash a picture of some looks I've done on the screen, so I will do that for all these palettes I'm mentioning. Finally, I also want to mention to you guys the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil. If you're not wanting to splurge $120 on the Sugar Pill palette, this is an amazing option. This is only $16, and you're getting a beautiful array of rainbow shades. I think a rainbow palette is a staple if you really like doing like colorful looks, or if you like experimenting with really bold makeup. This pretty much has every color in the rainbow I could ever need. So if I'm ever doing a look and I need a specific color, I will probably reach into here. Pretty much any color on the spectrum that I would want to. It's a really beautiful palette, and you're also getting some 3 base shades down here to kind of manipulate the colors of all the other ones. So overall, for $16, I could not ask for a more amazing palette. For $16, you're obviously getting a ton of product in here, but this is amazing quality. They blend out very easily. They're very pigmented and very easy to work with. And normally I'm a little bit more wary when trying out a very colorful matte shadow from a more affordable brand like BH Cosmetics, but they did a really amazing job with this. So I do really enjoy this one. It definitely makes me want to purchase more from BH Cosmetics. I'm definitely thinking of picking up the Weekend Festival palette or the Zodiac palette, or probably both of them actually, but I really do enjoy this one, and if you really like bright colors, this is a staple. For foundations and bases, I actually have a lot of products to show you guys. I wanted to kind of pick out a bunch of favorites for a bunch of different like preferences. Sometimes I want very light coverage, like a tinted moisturizer. Sometimes I want kind of dewy foundation, like medium to full coverage, dewy skin. Or sometimes I want matte skin. I have pretty normal skin. I don't really have super oily or super dry. It's just right in the middle, and sometimes that's good. I can pretty much make any foundation work for me in some way, shape, or form, so I have a lot of recommendations for you guys. I will note which is better for which type of skin. First one I want to mention is my favorite tinted moisturizer of all time. This is the Tarte Guard Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Light. This is the best tinted moisturizer I've ever tried in my life. It is pretty expensive as far as tinted moisturizers go. I think this is $36. You are getting 1.7 fluid ounces in here, so that's a little bit more than a standard foundation. However, you do need to use a bit more of this one. This is really beautiful for more light days. Honestly, I could actually wear this as a light coverage foundation, set it with a powder, and it does look like an actual foundation. It feels like nothing on the skin, and it just looks so beautiful throughout the day. It doesn't break up, doesn't feel super oily, and it just looks really amazing. I use this whenever I'm going to like Disneyland, or if I'm doing anything pretty active, or if I just want a lighter coverage look, I'll use this one. For me, I just prefer wearing like a tinted moisturizer as opposed to wearing nothing, so I really do enjoy this one. It's really good for kind of like a lighter coverage look. And from what I've tried from other like tinted moisturizer products like the Glossier Skin Tint, this actually has coverage in it, so I do really like this one a lot. In terms of dewier foundations, I know some people really like to have that kind of healthy skin look. I have 3 kind of dewy or healthier foundations to show you guys. This one is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. This one has been very hyped up here on YouTube. I've heard a lot of people talking about this one, so I picked this one up. I am in the shade LW2 or Light Warm 2. I believe it is the lightest shade that they offer. I gave a pretty thorough review in this in my latest new makeup releases video, but this one has a nice doe-footed applicator. You just swipe it onto your face, and then I like to blend this one out with the sponge, and this has brightening complex in it apparently, so it's supposed to kind of brighten up your complexion. It does an amazing job of just looking exactly like the name would imply. It looks really nice and healthy on your skin. I would say if you do have fine lines or kind of wrinkles, you might want to keep an eye out for this one because it does sink into my smile lines here. I do have pretty deep smile lines because I smile a lot, but regardless of that, I just kind of set it with powder and it doesn't really do anything, so it just looks so beautiful on the skin, and it's probably one of the best drugstore foundations I've tried lately, so I really enjoyed this one a lot. I'm pretty much going to be wearing this all summer long. I also want to mention the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation, another foundation that is newly released and has been getting a lot of hype lately. So this one is available at Ulta, I believe. And this one is a lot more dewy than the Physicians Formula one. This is genuinely going to look wet on your skin, so it's almost too dewy for me. I do need to set it down a little bit with the powder I'm going to mention later in this video, but I do think it's a really beautiful foundation if you like that almost like wet skin, glossy, almost like glass skin look. I am in the shade Ivory L2, which is I think either the second lightest shade or the first lightest shade. I don't quite remember. Kind of like a medium to full coverage. You can build it up if you want to. I just think it looks nice on the skin. The bottle is obviously very luxurious as well, but this is a really beautiful one if you like a really nice luminous skin effect. And at times it can be a little bit dewy for me, but I do really enjoy this one on a day when I want to look like a glowing goddess. And then the final dewier foundation I have to mention to you guys is the LA Girl Pro Coverage. This is the HD High Definition Long Wearing Illuminating Foundation. It's quite the name, but this one is actually one of the few like dewy illuminating foundations I've found that has a really good amount of coverage to it. It is a full coverage foundation, as the name would imply. It goes into the skin, it covers up all your imperfections and kind of blurs everything. It has this beautiful, almost like lifelike effect where it looks like your skin, it doesn't look like you're wearing foundation. So I really like this one, and for $9, it's probably another one of the best foundations I've tried from the drugstore. Just in general, I didn't used to be a fan of drugstore foundations, but I've been trying out so many new ones lately, and I just really enjoy all of the ones I've been trying. So this is amazing as well. If you're wanting more of a matte finish, however, they do have the LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation, which is the matte counterpart to the other one. This is really beautiful if you like a nice velvety, soft matte look. If you have oilier skin, I think you'd probably want to go for a more matte foundation during summer, just because during the summer months you can kind of get a little bit hotter and your skin might be a little little bit oilier. So on days that I do want a more matte foundation, this is an amazing option as well. It's very thin, it just looks so velvety smooth on the skin, and I think it has an amazing amount of coverage as well. So I really do enjoy this one. I am in the shade Bisque, whereas in this one I am in the shade Porcelain. Another matte foundation, sorry I have two more and then we're done with foundations, but I really do enjoy the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. This one, they just released a bunch of new shades. I have the shade Almond, which is the perfect shade for me. I'm so happy that they extended the shade range, but this is beautiful. Probably one of the most long-wearing foundations, and on summer days I'm kind of busy. I just want to be able to throw on makeup and not have to worry about looking at it throughout the day. So this one is amazing because it's very long-wearing, it doesn't break up on me, or it just controls my oils. It looks, again, velvety smooth on the skin. I really enjoy this one. Probably one of the best foundations, hands down. It definitely has to be in my top 5. And then the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. This one's an oldie but a goodie. I think this came out sometime in like January of last year. I used this one pretty much exclusively all summer last year because I didn't have a lot of foundations back then, but I really enjoy this one. I'm in the shade Fairlight Neutral for pretty much all of Tarte's complexion products. This is amazing. It's a very, very thin texture, so it comes in a dropper. It definitely is very watery, as you can see. So I do like to use this one with a sponge, as with other like watery foundations. And surprisingly, for a foundation that seems so light and like watery, it gives such a great amount of coverage. It's actually very full coverage, and it dries down to a nice matte finish. So this is amazing if you want full coverage and you want matte foundation, but you also don't want to feel like you're wearing a thick mask, which can be really just awful to feel on your skin when you're in summer. So I really enjoy this one a lot. In terms of Tarte, it's actually one of the few foundations that has like a slightly decent shade range, probably the best shade range that they have. They could definitely fit to expand it. I think Too Faced does a better job with their expansion of their shade ranges, but yeah, it's a really good formula. Right, so next up are cheek products. I have quite a few to show you guys. I'm going to start off with highlighter. So first off, the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This is one that's received a lot of hype on YouTube, and this is pretty inexpensive. I think it's $4 or $5. And from what I can tell, they actually did release a bunch of new shades on their own website, so hopefully those are coming to Ulta soon. I would love to try some more shades. This one is a little bit dark for me. It only works on me like right about now. I think during winter it would be bad for me, so that is why it's kind of a summer product, even though I don't really get that much darker during summer. But this is so beautiful. It's one of those highlighters that is pretty buildable. So on first wipe, you're getting a fair amount of pigmentation. It's not super glowy or blinding or anything like that. So as you can see, pretty subtle on the skin, but if you build it up, it can get to a beautiful, like, sunny glow. It's just so gorgeous on the skin. It looks like you're actually beaming light out of your face. So this is a beautiful highlight that builds up really well. You can also sheer it out and just use it as an all over like illuminating setting powder, kind of reminiscent of the Hourglass ones. I just really enjoy this a lot. So this one is number 10, Be My Highlight. I believe they just released a bunch of new shades, and just overall it's an amazing product. The other highlighter I have to show you guys is the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Reezy highlighter. This is kind of, again, a year-round favorite for me. I just use this all the time. I'm wearing it today. It's just the most beautiful champagne golden glow. I love the wave pattern as well, but it's a blinding highlight, don't get me wrong, but it's not glittery in any way. It's not going to emphasize texture. It just looks so, so beautiful from the face. So I really enjoy this one. I don't know if this one is limited edition or not, so if anyone knows it, can you please let me know in the comments, because if it is, I am buying like 4 or 5 more of these before it gets discontinued, because this is my favorite highlighter of all time. I have a bronzer to show you guys. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I didn't used to be a bronzer person. I would actually say I only started using bronzer in like January of this year, so I was never really a bronzer person. I always thought it looked just kind of muddy and wrong on my face, but that was just because I was applying it wrong and I was using the wrong products. Now that I really know how to apply bronzers, I just enjoy them so much. So this one is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It's a classic. It smells like coconut. Some people hate that scent, some people love it. I personally love it. This one is actually the light bronzer, so this is really good for fair complexions. They also have the regular bronzer and then the deeper, darker bronzer, I think. So this is gorgeous. It does come with like a brush down here. I don't really use that. This is gorgeous. It's a demi matte finish. So it is matte. It doesn't have any shimmers in there whatsoever, but it doesn't look like flat on the skin. It just looks very healthy and sun-kissed. This is the first bronzer that I recommend to pretty much anybody who asks for a bronzer recommendation. I just love this one so much. It has never done me wrong, so I will be using this all summer long. It's just such a staple for me, and the packaging is pretty bulky and kind of annoying to store, but I will look past that because this is an amazing product. Finally, I have 2 blushes to show you guys. So the first one is the Burt's Bees blush in Toasted Cinnamon. I wouldn't have picked this one up if Kathleen Knights hadn't been talking about it incessantly, and I love her so much, so I always like the products she recommends to me, and I had to pick this one up. This one I actually got for, I think, $10 at Whole Foods. It doesn't smell like cinnamon, unfortunately, but this color is so beautiful. And you might be saying that's a really dark blush, and for me, it does look like a pretty dark color. This is like a bronzer blush in one for me. So first apply this where I put bronzer, and then I kind of fluff it down onto my cheeks. It just looks so sun-kissed and gorgeous on my skin. I love this so much. It's also very lightweight. The compact is like a plastic kind of recycled like bees honeycomb. I just think it's an amazing product, and Kathleen Knights did it again. These are amazing blushes. So the other blush I have to mention to you guys is the Ofra blush in Bellini. So I heard some people talking about these when they first came out, but then I didn't really hear anyone else talking about them. So this blush is probably one of my favorites in my collection. It's a very nice coral toned, almost like peachy blush, so very pigmented as well. You're gonna kind of want to go in with a more like fluffy brush and a very light hand at first, so you don't apply too much, but it blends out really easily. It just looks so gorgeous and kind of corally, healthy on the skin. So again, that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. I just really like a nice touch of color on the cheeks. So really enjoy this one a lot. Probably one of the best blush formulas as well. For concealer, I generally just wear the same concealers all year round. It doesn't really make that much of a difference for me, but I do like to go for kind of a lighter, more dewy look sometimes during summer. And when I do more natural makeup looks, as I mentioned in my natural makeup video, I really enjoy going for the Glossier Stretch Concealer. This one is a potted concealer, and normally pot concealers are more matte, they're very thick, very full coverage, and very cakey. This one is kind of the antithesis of all of those things. It's like a light to medium coverage concealer, so it's not going to cover up like super big dark circles that I have during the school year. It's just going to lightly cover up any spots or blemishes, so this is really good for layering on top of a tinted moisturizer where you want a little bit more coverage. It also is pretty wet, so it's not going to set down. You do need to set it with a powder if you want it to stay in place. But I love this because it doesn't look like you're wearing concealer. With more like natural makeup days, if I'm wearing a tinted moisturizer, I don't want to put on like a very full coverage concealer under my eyes because you can just tell that I'm wearing like no coverage on my face and then high coverage underneath my eyes. So this is really good for those days when I just want a little bit less coverage and it still looks really beautiful on the skin. Again, from Glossier, I really do enjoy the Water as well. This is the powder that I mentioned earlier in the video. Most powders are very mattifying and they kind of take all the shine out of your face when you apply them. This one doesn't really do that. This can keep a dewy foundation very dewy underneath, but still set it down so that it won't move around and look bad on your skin. So I love setting more dewy foundations into place with this powder, or if I'm doing like a more natural makeup look and I'm using tinted moisturizer, again, I'll put this one on there. It just adds a tiny bit of coverage, but it doesn't make your foundation matte or just like flat. So really enjoy this one as well. Probably one of the best powders, and I love the packaging too. This is great for traveling because it does have a nice stopper in here and it's a net, so you're not getting a huge burst of powder every time you open it. Just really smart packaging, so enjoy this one a lot. One of my favorite tricks is actually using a very nice spray toner as a setting spray. So this is the Trader Joe's Rosewater facial toner. You guys have heard me talk about this so often on my channel because I love this so much, but this is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a rosewater spray. The reason I love this so much is because the mist is so incredibly fine. You just push down and it just deposits the most beautiful mist. I love this very much. It's even better in my opinion than the Mario Badescu one. It has a better spray bottle. This is only $4, so if you can find it at your Trader Joe's, I would say just pick up as many as you can. These are amazing. I have like 3 on backup right now because it is pretty hard to find these ones. Not every single Trader Joe's I've seen stocks this, so get it if you can. I just really enjoy this a lot, and I do use it as a setting spray and a toner. So for skincare, it's amazing, but as a dewy setting spray to kind of melt the powders into the face and just make everything look more natural, this is amazing. I want to mention moisturizer. That's one of the factors in my skincare routine that does change from season to season. During winter, I use more of a thick cream to moisturize my skin just because my skin can be a little bit drier during winter. It's a desert here in California, so it can be pretty dry. And then during summer, my skin can get a little bit more oily, even though it is still pretty dry in California. But during summer, I like to use more of a water-based moisturizer, so I have 3 amazing ones for you guys. First one I have to mention is the First Aid Beauty Coconut Water Cream. You will see me using this in my skincare routine video that's coming very soon. I know I've kept talking about that very often on my channel, but it looks like a thick balm in here, but when you massage it onto your skin, it kind of just turns into water and gets really nice and clear. It feels so light on the skin, and I love this because I don't like using super oily, thick creams on my skin during summer. It just feels kind of heavy on my face, so this is an amazing option. I love everything I've tried from First Aid Beauty. They just make amazing products. I have bought things from them, many things from them actually. This one they did actually send me in PR through Octoly, which was amazing. Other options for more water-based balm moisturizers would be the Tarte Drink of H2O Moisturizing Balm. I do not have the full size anymore. I did use that one up. Now I'm trying to use up the sample size, but this is another water balm moisturizer, kind of the same idea. Like a thin balm in here, you massage it onto your face and it turns into water. This is so good because it kind of dries down to a more tacky finish, so you can use it as a nice hydrating base under your foundation if you want to. And then finally, my third favorite is the Tatcha Water Cream. It's the most expensive one of the three that I just mentioned, but I do really love this one a lot. This one actually looks like more of a true cream rather than a balm, but it does melt into water. I love that kind of transformation on your skin. It feels so light on the face. I use this one at the end of the day or in the morning, depending on what I feel like. It's just the best moisturizer I've ever tried, so really do enjoy this one as well. So lashes. I wear lashes pretty much all summer long. I wear lashes pretty much every day as well. Even if I'm doing a more natural makeup look, I just find that my face doesn't really look complete without nice long lashes. So if I'm really going minimal, I will just do mascara, but most days, even if I'm doing a more natural look like this one, I will do lashes. So my favorite pair of more natural lashes are the Eylure Luxe Opulent Lashes. I am actually wearing them today with this look, just another pair that I have. This one is the pair that I'm showing you guys, but I love these ones. I've talked about them very often on my channel. They're just so fluffy and lush and long, but they're not like super thick either. This is really pretty if you want to show off your eyeshadow look. You can actually see the eyeshadow lid through the lashes. These are actually $9, so pretty affordable as far as faux mink lashes go, and they're just stunning. So I love these ones so much. Now I want to finish off the video with 3 picks for lips. So I kind of do 2 different things for lips during summer. I'll either go for a very nice bright lip color, or I'll go for a kind of more neutral gloss. And for a very bright lip color, I'll usually go for a more like subtle eye look. So the lip color I'm wearing today is from ColourPop. It's the Ultra Satin Lip from the Kathleen Knight's ColourPop Dream Street collab. It's called Rêve, which is French for dream. This is a really nice bright kind of tangerine blood orange. It is very bright, so if you do want to kind of mute it down and make it more on the blood orange side than the tangerine orange side, I would say mix in just a tiny bit of red lipstick and it just looks so beautiful, but beautiful color. Can be a little bit bright for everyday wear, but I think it's a really fun color. And just in general, I think ColourPop's Ultra Satin Lips formula is amazing for summer. They're very light, they don't feel super matte and dry on the lips, but they look gorgeous and they have so many different colors, so really recommend these ones. And I also really like neutral glosses. So the first one I have to mention is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. I just repurchased this one. It's so weird for me because I never repurchase glosses or lip products for that matter, but I did repurchase this one because I used up my entire gloss bomb. This is a beautiful, and if I can't think of what lip color I want to wear, I wear this one because it's a really nice universal pink toned lip gloss that looks so juicy on the lips and works with pretty much every eye look. I love this. It's such a staple for me, and I'm sure you've heard so many people talking about this one, but it's really worth the hype. And finally, one of my favorite glosses in my collection as well is the KKW Beauty Ultralight Beams gloss. I'm still waiting on her to release these in singles because as of now you can only buy them in this side with the pigment, but I love this one. This is the shade Rose Gold. It's just such a beautiful, glossy, juicy lip color. This one's a little bit lighter than the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, but still has that same nice texture. It's not sticky at all. It just looks so glossy and juicy and wet on the lips. So really do enjoy this one as well. And with that product, that concludes my summer makeup essentials. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what your favorites are for summer. I really like trying out your recommendations. You guys never do me dirty. You guys have recommended so many amazing products that I've always loved. Keep the recommendations coming in. I love trying what you love. And let me know, are you excited for summer? I'm kind of not because it's going to be super, super hot here. If you made it to the very end of this video, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Bye.